This is why women have lost trust in this generation of men. Like, I genuinely can't believe people can do the types of things that I'm about to tell you. So here's a little bit of a story time, which I wish wasn't true, but unfortunately it is. So there's this woman in her mid-20s that works at a certain place. Let's call her Felicia. And there's a guy who also works there. Let's call him Darren. So they were working together for a few months, had chit-chat here and there, and eventually they became close colleagues. But Darren had someone else he was seeing, so the friendship didn't really progress much further. A few months down the line, Darren comes to Felicia and says, "Oh, I'm not seeing this person anymore. I broke up with him." So Darren was a free man. So Felicia thought, okay, Darren's not committed anymore. He seems like a good guy, so let me continue getting to know him. It's also worth noting that both Darren and Felicia are Muslims, so they would only really talk at work and in group settings with their friends. So they will try to keep it as halal as possible and not cross any boundaries. A few more months go by and they naturally start developing feelings for each other. During this time, I don't know if Felicia found out or Darren told her that this girl that Darren had supposedly broken up with was still staying with him at his house, which Felicia found very odd. But that's not even the worst of it, just wait till the end. So Darren and this other girl must have had a flat together, but Darren constantly reassured Felicia that, "Oh, I'm not living with her, I'm staying at my neighbour's house." And he told her that he really wants to move out because he acknowledged the fact that he was in a haram relationship. So Felicia gave Darren the benefit of the doubt and said, "Okay, that's very weird, but alright." And she said to him, "I'm not willing to take this any further until you can sort that crap out." And Darren was like, "Oh yeah, she'll be out in a few weeks, don't worry." And I also forgot to mention that by this point, Darren had introduced Felicia to his mother, so he was quite serious about this. He really liked this girl. Darren and Felicia were still talking after this, but the situation with the other girl was always in Felicia's mind because it's a very weird and uncomfortable situation to be in. A few weeks later, Darren tells Felicia that he wants to go do Umrah, which is a pilgrimage that Muslims do. He goes to her, "Oh, I promise when I get back from Umrah, I'll sort everything out, the girl will be gone, don't stress, don't worry." Then Felicia was thinking, okay, if this guy has sincere intentions to change his life around, repent for the haram relationship he was in, and really seek forgiveness from God, and if God can forgive him, assuming his intentions were sincere, then who is she not to forgive him for his past? A few days later, he comes back and this other girl is still there, and he just keeps making excuses as to why he can't do much about it right now. Then one day, Felicia gets a message on Instagram. The message is from this other girl that Darren's got this situation with. So they start talking a bit, and a lot of stuff starts to come out. Darren mentioned to Felicia at the start of the friendship that, "Oh, I've been seeing this girl for a few months, it's not that serious, da 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 da." This girl said that her and Darren had been in a relationship for 10 years. 10 years! And Darren had never mentioned anything to this other girl about Felicia. So he was playing them both at the same time. Felicia and Darren were planning to get married in a few months, and then this information comes out. But sis genuinely dodged the bullet, to say the least. Because how much of a scumbag do you have to be to do something like that? Wasted almost a year of this innocent girl's life. "Oh yeah, I just can't pick between the two." Brother! And you might be thinking, how comes Felicia didn't just leave after seeing a few red flags? Bro, this Darren guy went out of his way to fabricate documents, and when addressing issues that Felicia would bring up, bro, he would lie in God's name. So Felicia did everything in her power to address these red flags, but at this point, she just had to charge it to the game, trust in God, and move on with her life. A lesson for the women, yeah? If you see a small red flag, it's probably not that small. Don't overlook it. Really assess the situation, because this might be another guy like Darren. If you have a gut feeling that something's wrong, then you have every single right to question it. Don't just let it be. You have to question it. And don't think, "Oh, I don't want to be annoying. I don't want him to think I don't trust him." Address these issues now, because if you choose to get married and further down the line you find out some crazy shit, it's going to be 100 times worse. Last thing I want to say is that if you've ever been in this sort of situation, then just know that there are good men left in the world, okay?